So, what if I told you that a piece of software could tell you its own philosophy? Today, we're not going to be looking at market charts or some fancy white paper. Nope, we are diving straight into the code of the Pi network to uncover a pretty surprising and, honestly, kind of chilling message that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time.
Just think about that for a second. Imagine code that doesn't just, do things, but actually tells you why it even exists. The Pi network code we're about to break down, it does exactly that. It's not just running commands. It's declaring a purpose for the entire system, something much, much bigger.
And this is where you really see the big difference. I mean, most developers, they ask a pretty simple question. Does this thing I built actually work? But the Pi code, it's asking something way more fundamental. It's asking, who is even allowed to be in this system in the first place?
Okay, so let's dive into our first section. We're about to see how a simple test file, something developers usually just throw together at the end, is actually acting like a manifesto for the entire system's ideology.
Now look, in any normal software project, test code is, well, it's pretty boring, right? It's just a tool. It's a checklist to make sure all the buttons work and nothing breaks when you go live. It's all about function, not philosophy.
But this is where it gets really interesting. In this Pi code, the test file is basically a declaration of its beliefs. It's not just checking if transactions work, it's laying down the law about who gets to participate. The focus completely flips from finance to, well, a kind of social engineering.
All right, section 2. This is where it builds. We're going to take a look at the main contract to figure out its real priorities. And you might be surprised by what we find. Or, maybe more importantly, by what we don't find.
So, when you actually examine the main contract file, this lib.rs, its true purpose becomes crystal clear, and not from what's written in it, but from what's been deliberately left out.
And what's really fascinating here is what's missing. You've got none of the stuff you'd expect from a cryptocurrency. There's no way to just mint coins endlessly, no liquidity pools, no complex market stuff. I mean, these are the basic building blocks of DeFi, and they are just gone.
So if it's not about finance, then what is it about? Well, the code shows us that the whole thing is built on a simple series of yes or no questions about you, the user. It's a fork in the road over and over again. Are you in or are you out?
And there they are. These are the real pillars of the system. It's a gatekeeping operation. Have you passed KYC? Know your customer identity checks. Did you pass compliance? Everything else, even how many coins you have, comes second to these black and white questions.
This quote from the analysis just absolutely nails it. So you got to understand, Pi isn't designed to be a currency first. It's designed as a system of permission. Your eligibility, your right to even be there, is the most important thing. The coin is just what you get for passing the test.
Okay, this brings us to what is, honestly, the weirdest and most counterintuitive part of this whole system, its relationship with failure. See, most systems are built to help you succeed. This one, it almost seems like it's designed to watch you fail. You can learn way more about this system by looking at its error messages than its successful transactions. Seriously, the way it handles failure isn't a bug, it's a core feature. It's designed to be unforgiving and absolute.
So check this out. If you trigger a major error, like failing KYC or a compliance check, the system doesn't just block you. It sends you to this final state, a panic with error. It's a dead end. There's no second chance. There is no turning back.
Which, of course, makes you ask the obvious question. Okay, so how do I fix it? If I get flagged, where's the appeal button? Who do I call?
And the answer? There is no path to correction. There isn't one. And that's not an accident. That is the whole point. By ripping out any chance for an appeal, any chance for a human to step in, the system gets rid of all legal gray areas. It's designed so it never needs a judge.
All right, let's bring it all home in our final section. We're going to pull all this evidence together to make a pretty bold claim about what this whole system is really for.
And here we are, full circle, back at that test code. Its main job isn't to make sure transactions work. Its main job is to make sure the system correctly and efficiently rejects people who aren't allowed in. It's a drill sergeant, not a feature test.
Now get this. This line from the analysis is probably the most insightful and chilling part of all. The intended behavior, what the system is supposed to do, is to say no. Getting a yes is the rare exception to the rule. Rejection is just business as usual. So what does this mean for you, the user? It means your good intentions don't matter. Your excuses don't matter. All that matters is your status, yes or no. The system is designed to prevent what it sees as a virus, the virus of making exceptions to the rules.
And this is the perfect way to see it. Traditional systems have laws, and courts, and regulators to sort out all the messy human stuff. But this system, it's trying to replace all of that with cold, hard code. It's a silent judgment that leads to a non-negotiable result. Period.
And look, if you take only one thing away from all this, let it be this quote. This is the whole idea in a nutshell. The purpose isn't to be money. The purpose is to be a filter for people. So after everything we've seen in the code, we kind of have to redefine Pi-coin, don't we? It's not a currency that you own. It's more like a digital badge of approval, a conditional status symbol that the system lets you have as long as you follow the rules. And that brings us to the final, really big question. This design creates a system that's incredibly stable, totally free of human error and messy arguments. But is this kind of automated, absolute judgment the future of stable systems? Or is it the beginning of a merciless new kind of economy, one where there's absolutely no room for a second chance?